All right, round two. Round two. Here we go.
Okay, let's see if I can do this on my own.
All right, here is our equation.
Darn.
Here we go. Ready? Y equals x squared x squared plus 9x plus 20. I'm doing a different one from the last period. We're switching it up so we can have lots of examples. And this one's a nice trinomial, right? So we're going to get to do some factoring by grouping, distributive property, all that good stuff. Okay. All right, opens up or down, but how do we know how to do that? Well, we got to do some labeling. It opens up. Well, hold on, let's label first, right? A, B, C.
Here.
Okay. A is positive, so it opens up.
Okay.
Just like moving. Good observation. Okay. We know that it opens up. Beautiful. Minimum, maximum?
Minimum.
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 So we got the shape already. We got that down. Okay, okay. What's next on our list? Oh, I gotta check that off. All right, y-intercept. What do I look at for that? For my y-intercept.
Oh, C.
I look at C. Right, and it's usually written as 0C. So what's this one? It's Man, mine's gonna be off my graph. Good thing yours is big enough.
Yeah, you're wasting
Ours got to be off the ground. Well, yeah, but till
Oh boy. Okay, so mine technically is gonna be a little off the graph. My y-intercept is gonna be somewhere up here.
Yeah, it's going to be way off the graph.
But yours goes to 20, right?
yeah,
Oh, wait, the line.
yeah, but
Mine doesn't.
that means it's only gonna be like show like half an.
Actually, technically, it was
Which is the y-intercept 0.20.
That's so easy though.
Okay, so that's our y-intercept, just a place on our graph, right, on our parabola that crosses the y-axis. Okay, so we got y-intercept. Okay, well, how do we find these roots? Well, we got to make sure this is in factored form. Well, it really isn't. There's a trinomial, so we have to figure out how to organize that into two binomials. So let me start off by writing down the equation. And for me, I like to use this little organizer, this little railroad crossing organizer, to help me. You don't have to, but that helps organize my thoughts, what I change 9x to. So really, we put a times c up here, so what really multiplies to 20, but adds to our b value of 9.
5 and 4.
5 and 4.
5 and 4.
Oh, 5 and 4.
5 and 4 take the spots of 9, but it can't just be 4 plus 5. It has to be 4x. Right? A positive 4x plus a positive 5x. Those take the spots. Now you can bring down your first and your last term. I'm going to squeeze that in there. And again, we still know this is equal to y. I'm going to hold off on that just so you're not confused, just so we're looking at these four terms. Now, this is the factoring by grouping. So last time we did greatest common factor, just that. We're going to do grouping, which has greatest common factor in it. So let's section off these guys. Pair them up, group them up.
Oh, I thought it was.
What do you notice what's in common here?
X plus 4.
An x. So we divide that out and we got x plus 4 as I heard.
It can go either way because I did the 5 before.
Oh, you did the 5 before the 4? Exactly. Good point, because if you switch them, you'll still get the same result. Maybe it'll look a little different, but you'll still get the same result. I put the 4 first. So what's the greatest common factor here? 5. A positive 5. I'm going to suggest you always put positive 5 plus 5. Otherwise, I don't want you to think x is times 5. All right, what's left? X plus 4. Perfect. You want these two binomials to be the same because you write down just one of them. Take the greatest common factors and put them in another one. So, y equals the trinomial up here. We went through factoring by grouping and got these two binomials. Now that's just changing it to factored form. We still have to find out what our x-intercepts are through the zero product property, remember? We talked about how we're really looking for what happens when y equals 0. What x values do we get? So we put y as 0. So we set y as 0 for the zero product property, and I'll rename that. Now we talked about how, okay, if two things multiply to get 0, either one of them or both of them have to be 0. So I'm just going to set each of these equal to 0. So how do I get x by itself here? What do I do?
Subtract.
Subtract minus 5. Beautiful. So my x value, my x-intercept over here ends up being negative 5. So how would I write the coordinates for this point? So I'm just going to write them over here. So it's going to be negative 5, 0. That will graph. And then coming back to the second x-intercept, okay, subtract 4. Or you could just get off the couch and come a little closer. I'm sure they'll appreciate the shout out of it. So, okay. All right, so we have negative 4 equals x. So how do we write the coordinates of that?
Negative 4, 0.
Beautiful.
Dang.
So we're going to graph those points. And okay, so we already got one on there. Yours probably looks a little better. Mine's off the graph. But we're going to go ahead and graph those two x-intercepts. So I'm going to graph negative 5, 0. So x-intercept, negative 5, 0.
It's a very narrow.
Oh, man.
What?
Negative 4, 0. Okay. Negative 4, 0. X-intercepts. Now, I could say x-intercepts. What else could I call them? Roots or
solutions.
Solutions.
I know, I'm in the game right now.
Woo. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Oh man, all right, got those. Okay. Next thing, axis of symmetry. What is that going to be?
It's in between.
4.5.
Yeah, it's going to be in between
Minus 4.5.
4 and 5, and they're both negative. So it's going to be negative 4.5. Woo, that's really narrow.
Wow, this is narrow. Oh, shucks.
So I'm going to lay along axis of symmetry. So I'm going to say negative 4.5.
That's also the minimum.
We're almost done. We're almost done, okay? Found the axis of symmetry. Now I got to find the coordinates of this minimum, right? How do I find that?
You don't.
I don't? How do I know how low to go? You use the equation. Put negative 4.5 in
Obviously. Okay. Okay. Y.
This is where you can use your calculator to help.
X. Okay.
Put it in for x, right? You put it in for your equation. Oh my goodness.
Jeez, Gracie's like.
Or mine again. Alright, I'm gonna grab the calculator. I'm gonna help you out.
Holy cow. Well, Gracie, do you need all calculators? For you too. I know, right?
Alright, did you get negative 1/4?
Yes.
So negative 0.25 or negative 1/4. So that's not too low. It's close to 0. It's a little bit below it. Right? So my coordinates, depends on if you want fraction or decimal. I'm going to keep it a decimal. Negative 4.5, negative 0.25. Probably like right there. So that's my minimum.
Oh, it's so small. It's so cute.
Can we do multiple to the left? What's my favorite?
Okay, did you connect them yet?
Wait, what? Oh, that's so
Go on and connect them. And what do you put on the ends of them? Arrows. So maybe most likely yours is going to connect up here, right through that Y axis. Right? Awesome. Put arrows on the end of those bad boys, alright? Alright.
Can I have the video?
And when you're done, yeah, we can stop it.
Arrows on the end of those bad boys.
I have a question.